Calling to order the Finance Committee meeting for September the 22nd, 2015. Before we get started, we will recognize the K-9 officer for a presentation at this time.
No, I've been informed that he needs to get back to work, so we'll have him come up and do the presentation. He can.
Oh, so pretty.
Then why don't we have a motion to consider item number 7 first?
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second that we move item number 7 to number 1. Any questions or comments? Roll call, please.
Deputy Mayor James Gully?
Yes.
Janie Boydston?
Yes.
Marlon Coleman?
Yes.
Wayne Johnson?
Yes.
Leanne Langston?
Yes.
Ivy Van?
Yes.
Derek Reed?
Yes.
Dan Hall?
Yes.
Item number 7.
Consider approval to retire and surplus the Police Department K-9 Duke and allow the current handler, Officer Chris Dean, to take possession of said K-9 or take other necessary action.
I am filling in for the chief, so good afternoon. This is Duke and his handler, Chris Dean, and we have had Duke for about, 3.5, 4 years now. He's 7.5 years old, Belgian Malinois, and his health has deteriorated to the point. He's on all kinds of medication, and Chris just told me he ran into the wall on the way up here because now apparently his eyesight is going too. So typically what we do is retire the K-9, and it goes to the handler that currently has him, and Chris has accepted to take on that role. So I recommend we surplus him and to Chris Dean. I'm happy to answer any questions.
I guess I want to hear from Duke. What does he think?
I have a question. If you're taking on this, do we have any way to, they say he's ailing, do they have any funds to help him provide the medical care that the dog will need?
Tell him what medication.
He is on phenobarbital, which if you look it up, it's a seizure medicine that even humans take. He takes 3 pills of that a day. He's on a thyroid medicine that is, longer than anybody's name in here. I couldn't pronounce it. And Rimadyl, which all Rimadyl is an anti-inflammatory, just for his joint. The vets couldn't tell us exactly what. Vets couldn't tell us exactly what was wrong with him, so they put him on that just in case there is an issue. It'll kind of help him ease the pain. I don't know about an account or a fund for that matter, but he's more than just a dog. He's part of my family.
That was the reason I asked about it.
Mm-hmm.
I have no problem taking on that financial responsibility, and if the city would accept, I'd like to make him a member of my family and take him home.
Well, I had a call from a citizen who was concerned about it and said if the expenses got too much for you, and I understand maybe they could, if there was any way that we understand this dog may have collected some drug money, and she was that maybe he might be entitled to something if he needed some care.
Excellent
So I
suggestion.
If it gets to that point, we can bring it back up here. And
If you would.
I hope you will,
Yes.
and I think that
Absolutely.
our citizen would certainly like to hear that.
Okay.
Yes.
well, we appreciate it.
Move for approval.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any other questions or comments?
Marlon, you want to play with the dog?
I do.
They wouldn't let me pet.
They wouldn't.
Nope.
Oh,
Didn't
well,
touch the dog.
if they won't let the deputy mayor, if they won't let the deputy mayor, I can't jump over him, so.
Roll call, please.
Deputy Mayor James Gully?
Yes.
Janie Boydston?
Yes.
Marlon Coleman?
Yes.
Wayne Johnson?
Yes.
Leanne Langston?
Yes.
Ivory Van?
Yes.
Derek Reed?
Yes.
Dan Hall?
Yes.
Mayor Coburn?
Yes.
All right, item passed. Duke is retired, and he even got a retirement plan.
As it should be.
All right. Item number 1.
Consider approval of Finance Committee minutes of September 8, 2015.
Move for approval.
Second.
Motion and a second. Corrections? Roll call, please.
Deputy Mayor James Gully?
Yes.
Janie Boydston?
Yes.
Marlon Coleman?
Yes.
Wayne Johnson?
Yes.
Leanne Langston?
Yes.
Ivory Van?
Yes.
Derek Reed?
Yes.
Dan Hall?
Yes.
Mayor Coburn?
Yes.
Item 1 passes. Item number 2.
Consider approval of claims for all city departments 9/3/2015 to 9/15/2015.
Do we have a report from the purchasing committee?
Yes, sir. The purchasing committee met earlier today, and I think everybody noticed in their packet that the city treasurer is starting to put in the invoices for anything over the $5,000, that, so everybody could kind of see who they were and what was going on. And then anything that was gonna be the best bid, then we'd see all three quotes. So we're starting that process to see how that review's going. And we did review the report of claims, and I move for approval.
You guys are gonna start earlier.
And we're gonna try and start earlier so we won't hold you all up, and we
All right.
apologize for that. We still wanna be thorough as we go through that. And we thank y'all for the
You
time.
made a motion, correct? I
Yes, I
seconded
did.
it.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Roll call.
Deputy Mayor James Scully.
Yes.
Janie Boydston.
Yes.
Marlon Coleman.
Yes.
Wayne Johnson.
Yes.
Leanne Langston.
Yes.
Ivory Van.
Yes.
Derek Reed.
Yes.
Dan Hall.
Yes.
Mayor Coburn.
Yes.
Item number 4.
Consider approval of awarding the low bid for furnishing uniforms for certain City of Muskogee employees to UniFirst Uniform or take other necessary action.
Yeah, I'm going to ask that this item be deferred until October 6th, Public Works.
All right.
Move to table.
Second?
Motion and a second to table this item. Roll call.
Deputy Mayor James Scully.
Yes.
Janie Boydston. Marlon Coleman.
Yes.
Wayne Johnson.
Yes.
Leanne Langston.
Yes.
Ivory Van.
Yes.
Derek Reed.
Yes.
Dan Hall.
Yes.
Mayor Coburn.
Yes.
Item 3 is tabled. Item number 4.
Consider the approval to accept the proposal from BKL Incorporated for the design of the Muskogee Honor Heights and Robinson Park restrooms as recommended by the Selection Committee or take other necessary action.
We will acknowledge Donnie. I do also have someone who has signed to speak on this item, and I think we got a recommendation from the purchasing committee, but we'll take Donnie first.
Chairman and Council, we received 5 RFPs that pertaining to the architecture plan here, but we can see that one did not follow the criteria of the RFP. So the selecting committee, they evaluate the RFP on the basis of 5 criterias, and they scored them on their criteria. All of these firms, they can build these restrooms, but we had to recommend one of the firms. And one of the firms that we recommend was BKL. And then we just leave it to the council to make a decision which one they'd like to go with.
Thank you. Mr. Martin, Mike Martin, would you like to speak on this issue?
Before he starts, would you like to hear what the purchasing committee's recommendation was?
If this you guys wish.
The purchasing committee met, and we sat down with Donnie and the city manager. And so the purchasing committee recommended that we accept Martin as the architect for these restrooms. And that's what our recommendation was after going through the selection process. Just an FYI for the rest of the councils. So,
All
sorry,
right.
Mike, I just want to
I didn't know that.
Well, I just want to let you know that the person did meet early, and that was our recommendation. What the rest of the committee, different deal.
Well, this won't take long. I found out about this by going online. I was not called or anything invited to participate in this. When I came to the pre RFI meeting, we took tours of the site, and one of the guys from BKL is a friend of mine. I've known him for years, and he says to me, he says, well, they called and told me to come. He said, if I'd have known you were going to do this, he said, this seems like a waste of time. Why don't they just get somebody local? It's just restrooms, which was sort of what was on my mind. But I realize that that's not the way things are done around here. I've been working this town for 20 years. I've done everything from the Muskogee County Courthouse to various churches and schools. And suddenly I find out that the city doesn't think I'm qualified to do restrooms at parks. Just the thought of that irritates me. Now, I don't care if you give it to BKL, they're a good firm. They'll do a good job because they're already working for the city. Everybody that's working for this city as architects are from outside Muskogee. Local architects and engineers are not considered. My team had local civil engineers, local geotech engineers, and the money was going to stay here if hired. You know, the mayor likes to talk about buying local because it helps our sales tax. But you as the city do not buy local. You habitually look out of town first. What your reasons are, I don't know. But when out-of-town architects tell me that they're called and requested to come to a meeting they wouldn't have otherwise tried for, it makes no sense. Now, I realize that if I was to somehow persuade you to change your mind and hire me, then I'll be under a thumb on this thing. Because then if I do anything wrong, you can say, see, that's why we don't hire local people. But everybody, when I go to the vision committee, everybody's wondering why the local community doesn't get behind Muskogee. And it could be that part of the thing is you say one thing and you do another. You don't treat the local people like we matter. And that's all I've got to say. Thank you.
All right. Comments?
Yes, I have comment. Mr. Martin, you are totally, totally right. And that's the fact. I know how you feel, sir. 2008, when we built Robinson Park started, we had restrooms. They wanted to put outside toilets, put that little picket fence around the restrooms. I have a journeyman license in plumbing. I have a state and city license. I had a couple of guys. We were going to sit down and draw up some plans, and just to get the slab and the plumbing in cost money. We were going to do it free of charge. But you think the city of Muskogee let me do it? They just ignored it. Ignored me. You know, I went to school to learn it, and I guarantee the contractors I was going to work under, they definitely knew what they were doing. So, sir, I know what you. I feel your pain. That's the trouble with Muskogee. They don't want people that know something to try to help them. And, sir, trust me, by Robinson Park, I did all I could to get a bathroom in out there. And when they finally did put the porta potties up, they done them against the ordinance because it was wrong to put them up. But all of a sudden, we changed the ordinance to make it for our convenience. So, sir, I applaud you.
I have a recommendation from the purchasing committee.
Yes, sir.
Did I get a second to that motion?
Second.
Yes, you do.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion?
Yes, it is. On these restrooms, I would like to see, while we're doing it right here on record, you know, it's all about the language here. And I've learned something this week, and I've learned something since I've been on the council. It's all about the language. I would like to see on these restrooms, I'd like to see the roof. I like to have metal roofs. I also would like to have stainless steel toilets. If you put porcelain toilets in the bathrooms, people's going to come in there and crack them. So we're wasting money right there. So it's on the record. It's what I recommended. I'm recommending again. Y'all don't have to listen to me. But over to JVC, when we went over there and toured that place, you talking about nice. Those toilets over there are nice. So that's what I would like to see Robinson Park and Elliott have, is stainless steel toilets and metal roofs. Not no shingle roofs, because shingle roofs don't match Robinson Park. We got green roofs on the gazebos out there, and I'm pretty sure single roofs wouldn't do any good in our hikes. So I'm fighting for both of them. So that's my recommendation today.
We have a motion and a second. Any other discussion? Roll call, please.
Deputy Mayor James Scully.
Yes.
Janie Boydston.
Yes.
Marlon Coleman.
Yes.
Wayne Johnson.
Yes.
Leanne Langston.
Yes.
Ivory Van.
Yes.
Derek Reed.
Yes.
Dan Hall.
Yes.
Mayor Coburn.
Yes.
Item 4 passes. Item number 5.
Consider approval to renew the SunGuard annual licensing and maintenance in the amount of $51,257.39 or take other necessary action.
Chris Cummins.
Hello, committee. It is that time of year again where we renew our annual maintenance and license on our main financial system, which is provided to us by SunGuard. And I'm requesting permission to spend the money to renew that license and maintenance.
Any
Be happy to
questions?
answer any questions.
Move for approval.
Second.
Motion and a second. Further discussion? Roll call, please.
Deputy Mayor James Scully.
Yes.
Janie Boydston.
Yes.
Marlon Coleman.
Yes.
Wayne Johnson.
Yes.
Leanne Langston.
Yes.
Ivory Van.
Yes.
Derek Reed.
Yes.
Dan Hall.
Yes.
Mayor Coburn.
Yes.
Item 5 passes. Item number 6.
Consider approval of payment to the Muskogee City County 911 Trust in the amount of $87,402 for the city's portion of the 911 CAD mobile and record software or take other necessary action.
Mr. Cummins.
And again, requesting permission to pay for our portion of what we use at the Muskogee City County 911 system for the dispatch record-keeping software and mobile dispatch that we use here in the city for public safety.
Chris, question.
Yes, sir.
One of the things I've been reading about all the police cams, this says maintenance for police records. Is that dispatch? But that doesn't, I mean,
It is also for records. We use the same system for our for
Body
the
cams?
police records.
for body cams also?
The body cams are through Taser.
Okay, so that's a different.
That's a different.
Because I've heard the story and all that videos quite,
It
becomes quite pricey.
it does. It does. That's a different company, different item.
Thank you.
Chris, I got a question.
Okay.
I was looking at this, and then I called the guy over at the sheriff's office and talked to him. Is there anybody else in their county that pays for this besides us and this county, a deputy, the sheriff's office?
From my understanding, everybody is supposed to be paying their portion. As far as if they are or not, I don't know.
Well, Council, we have a contract, and it spells out who pays what. I believe a better answer would be either Chief Tatum, if he can come up, or either Chief Farmer. They'll know the details of that particular question. I think you're wanting to know.
Yeah,
who's
because
paying
I
and who's
keep
not
hearing
paying.
that we need more money for the 911 center from different a couple agencies and everything. I'm going, is everybody paying their part, or is it just the two major?
In the initial agreement between the city and the county, both entities pay 50% over and above the 911 fees collected. So monthly, the city and the county is getting a bill.
Okay, so the smaller towns in our community aren't paying anything then?
That is being paid, well, no.
County's paying.
That's part of the sheriff's deal.
Part of the county?
And the county is paying it.
The county is paying that. Now,
And-
there has
and-
been some discussion of going to these other communities and getting a fee initiated for them through the county.
Okay.
So I guess my question, if you don't, can I jump in here?
Uh-huh.
It says 87,000, but then I see the total current billing amount is 123,000. That's not a 50-50 deal unless I'm missing some
No,
documentation.
the mobile is totally PD, and correct me if I'm wrong there, Chief Farmer, but the records management system, I believe, is totally the police department and partially the sheriff, because they're using the same records management system.
Okay.
Any further questions, discussion?
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Roll call, please.
Deputy Mayor James Scully.
Yes.
Janie Boydston.
Yes.
Marlon Coleman.
Yes.
Wayne Johnson.
Yes.
Leanne Langston.
Yes.
Ivory Van.
Yes.
Derek Reed.
Yes.
Dan Hall.
Yes.
Mayor Coburn.
Yes.
Item 6 passes, and we've already covered item 7. Item number 8, please.
Consider approval to receive donated funds in the amount of $6,498 for the Muskogee Police Department K-9 program per the attached list, or take other necessary action.
Pull that
What'd you
down
get for
towards
being
you.
too tall?
All right, here we go. This is a follow-up from retiring Duke a while ago. We had the previous dog retired, I don't know, probably a month ago, so we need to purchase 2 dogs. And when that came about, we started receiving donations, and we've got the $6,498, and I'll break that down for you. Okie Guns and Gear did a raffle that came up with $3,548. Our Muskogee Citizens Police Academy donated $2,000. Tender Touch Car Wash was $500. First Star Bank was $250, and Judge Mike Norman donated $200. So that's what I have, and recommend that we accept the donations.
We have a recommendation.
Move for approval.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any further questions? Roll call, please.
Deputy Mayor James Scully.
Yes.
Janie Boydston.
Yes.
Marlon Coleman.
Yes.
Wayne Johnson.
Yes.
Leanne Langston.
Yes.
Ivory Van.
Yes.
Derek Reed.
Yes.
Dan Hall.
Yes.
Mayor Coburn.
Yes.
Item 8 passed. Item number 9.
Consider approval to purchase 2 police K-9s with included required training for the Muskogee Police Department from Amera K-9 Training Kennels in the amount of $27,000, or take other necessary action.
Chief Farmer.
Me again. The $27,000 takes care of the 2 dogs. The 2 dogs come with a 4-week training class, which, for liability reasons, that handler has to go through. Even if they've had a dog before, has to go through that class with that dog. dog is already trained. I think they're about 3 years old to start with because they had all that training. We don't buy a new dog that's a puppy because it takes us forever to get it trained. So, but in that 4-week class, they go over and make sure the dog's properly trained in tracking and narcotics detection. They get certified in narcotics detection, and then make sure that they're a match with the handler and the dog that we actually need and want. So the $6,000 we just donated, along with $20,502 from the Youth Fines Fund account, I think I said that right, or was that right? We'll purchase the $27,000 we need for the 2 dogs. So recommend approval, and I'll be happy to answer any questions.
We have a recommendation on the floor.
Move for approval.
Second.
Motion and a second. Yes, sir.
Along with this, is there a plan in place to make sure that we got a replacement plan in place, just like we would for our other officers?
We discussed that a little bit at the beginning of purchasing a while ago. I will be happy to sit down with the manager and come up with something. We don't have something in place now. We can use the drug forfeiture money as we get it, but that's not a guaranteed funding. I mean, we have to find it, obviously, to get it. So, but we'll definitely work towards that.
I'd sure like to see an account set up that we could at least have something in place that we would have a replacement fund, just like we would have an ongoing account, or we could have something in place to replace these dogs as we would need to replace them. I know this has been kind of an unfortunate one because we've had a lot retire here lately, but they're essential officers out there in the field.
We can definitely work on that.
All right. Did we get a motion?
Yes, we did.
All right. Roll call, please.
Deputy Mayor James Scully.
Yes.
Janie Boydston. Marlon Coleman.
Yes.
Wayne Johnson.
Yes.
Leanne Langston.
Yes.
Ivory Van.
Yes.
Derek Reed.
Yes.
Dan Hall.
Yes.
Mayor Coburn.
Yes.
All right. Item 9 passed. Item number 10.
Consider approval of receiving donated funds for the month of August 2015 in the amount of $1,628 for the city's animal shelter sponsorship program per the attached list, or take other necessary action.
Mr. Farmer.
This is the August donation in the amount of $1,628 that goes to the city's animal shelter of donated funds, and recommend we accept.
Move for approval.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Deputy Mayor James Scully.
Yes.
Janie Boydston.
Yes.
Marlon Coleman.
Yes.
Wayne Johnson.
Yes.
Leanne Langston.
Yes.
Ivory Van.
Yes.
Derek Reed.
Yes.
Dan Hall.
Yes.
Mayor Coburn.
Yes.
All right. Item 10 passed. Item number 11.
Consider the approval of the appointment of Jack Bethany to the Planning and Zoning Commission to serve a 3-year term beginning on October 1st, 2015, and ending on September 30th, 2018, replacing Lillian Jane, or take other necessary action.
Deputy Mayor Gully.
Yes, this is my recommendation. If you noticed in his packet that he was the building inspector for the city of Muskogee, so he's familiar with our ordinances and how the city functions, and I think he'd be a good addition to that committee. So I move for approval.
Second.
Second.
I have a motion and a second for the discussion. Roll call, please.
Deputy Mayor James Scully.
Yes.
Janie Boydston.
Yes.
Marlon Coleman.
Yes.
Wayne Johnson.
Yes.
Leanne Langston.
Yes.
Ivory Van.
Yes.
Derek Reed.
Yes.
Dan Hall.
Yes.
Mayor Coburn.
Yes.
Item 11 passes. Item number 12.
Consider the approval of the appointment of Mark Bonney to the Board of Adjustment to serve a 3-year term beginning on October 1st, 2015, and ending on September 30th, 2018, replacing Janie Boydston, or take other necessary action.
Deputy Mayor.
Again, I've asked Mr. Bonney to serve, being that he's an attorney, and this board deals with a lot of legal issues, and I think he'd be a fine addition. When he served on the Street Advisory Commission, I think you'll remember for us, he always came and gave us reports, very good feedback on his recommendations, very thorough. I think he'd be a great addition. So I move for approval.
Second.
Motion and a second. Janie, you okay?
That'd be fine with me.
Roll call, please.
Deputy Mayor James Scully.
Yes.
Janie Boydston.
Yes.
Marlon Coleman.
Yes.
Wayne Johnson.
Yes.
Leanne Langston.
Yes.
Ivory Van.
Yes.
Derek Reed.
Yes.
Dan Hall.
Yes.
Mayor Coburn.
Yes.
That item passed. Item number 13.
Consider approval of the appointment of Matthew Henry to the War Memorial Trust Authority to serve a 3-year term beginning on October 1st, 2015, and ending on September 30th, 2018, replacing Nancy Ellis, or take other necessary action.
Councilor Langston.
Thank you. Matthew Henry works for the City of Muskogee in the Facilities Department. He also is a veteran, and he has enjoyed the Batfish for a number of years, and he's very willing to serve on this, and we're proud to have him.
Do we have a second to that motion?
Oh, that is it. Motion. Second.
I move that we do all of it,
All righty.
whatever it's supposed to be.
We have a motion and a second on the floor. Any further discussion? Roll call, please.
Deputy Mayor James Scully.
Yes.
Janie Boydston.
Yes.
Marlon Coleman.
Yes.
Wayne Johnson.
Yes.
Leanne Langston.
Yes.
Ivory Van.
Yes.
Derek Reed.
Yes.
Dan Hall.
Yes.
Mayor Coburn.
Yes.
That was the final item on the Finance Committee, so we're adjourned.
So we will now call to order the Public Works Committee meeting. Item 1.
Consider approval of the Public Works Committee minutes of September 8th, 2015.
Any additions or changes?
Move for approval.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Roll call.
Deputy Mayor James Scully.
Yes.
Janie Boydston.
Yes.
Marlon Coleman.
Yes.
Wayne Johnson.
Yes.
Leanne Langston.
Yes.
Ivory Van.
Yes.
Derek Reed.
Yes.
Dan Hall.
Yes.
Mayor Coburn.
Yes.
Motion carries. Item 2.
Consider acceptance of ODEQ permit number WL00051150555 for the construction of 3,200 linear feet of 8-inch PVC potable water line, 320 linear feet of 10-inch HDPE potable water line, and all appurtenances to serve Muskogee residents, Muskogee County of Oklahoma, or take other necessary action.
Mr. Stewart.
Yes, as part of our permit with ODEQ, we have to accept this or have this entered into the minutes of the Muskogee City Council, so that's why it's on your agenda for acceptance. This is for the 8-inch water line that was voted on by the sales tax issue that replaces the 2 that currently is out on the east side of 24th Street between Border and Hancock. We brought that before you already, and this is just the permitting process. Plans have been developed. They have been issued to ODEQ. ODEQ has accepted them and issued this permit to construct. That project is ready to go out to bid, and all this is the acceptance of that permit for ODEQ for record purposes. So I'll answer any questions.
Any questions for Mr. Stewart?
Move for approval.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Any other discussion? Roll call.
Deputy Mayor James Scully.
Yes.
Janie Boydston.
Yes.
Marlon Coleman.
Yes.
Wayne Johnson.
Yes.
Leanne Langston.
Yes.
Ivory Van.
Yes.
Derek Reed.
Yes.
Dan Hall.
Yes.
Mayor Coburn.
Yes.
And the motion carries. Mr. Van, I'm sorry, I don't hear very well.
That was making an announcement. I have to leave. I have to go out here to Booker T Cemetery. A lady come in. We've been working on that project out there, and she came in yesterday. So we got a meeting. I got a meeting with her at 5 o'clock. And also, by me being a young dad, I got to go to a parent teachers conference meeting here. So I'm asked that I be excused.
So moved. Thank you, Ivory.
Thank you.
Item number 3.
Consider approval of the request for the honorary naming of Boston Street from South 4th to South 5th to Merle Haggard Avenue.
Mr. Stewart.
Yes, a request has been made to give an honorary street naming to Boston Street in front of the Civic Center from 4th to 5th. As you'll remember, we went over last agenda on the criteria to do that. If you'll notice in your packet, there is an application for Merle Haggard Avenue, and the reason that's in there as an application was simply because that had been submitted to Gary Garvin to actually change the name of the street. And it had all the history on it, so that's why I went ahead and put it in there. So that application isn't really appropriate for the honorary street naming, but it did have the background on it, and that's why it's in your packet. I didn't want to confuse you with that. Former Mayor Stratton is here and will explain the necessity, or the, not necessity, but the reasoning behind why that street has been chosen to be named Merle Haggard Avenue. So I'd ask her to come forward. I will also remind you that they have to pay for the street markers. They will be reimbursed to the Street and Alley Fund. The signs are approximately $125 a piece, so we're talking about a $250 expenditure. If it's approved, we'll get them up as soon as possible.
Thank you, Council and Mayor, for your time always. This is an idea that was put forth by the Depot District Committee and the Oklahoma Music Hall of Fame as a way to honor our legacy of music in this community, and in particular, Mr. Merle Haggard. In the discussion, we decided to go with the street in front of the Civic Center because of his relationship with the Civic Center, as you might recall or not. He recorded Okie from Muskogee at our Civic Center, and indeed, there are pictures of the interior of our Civic Center on the album that he published. So he has quite a relationship. We're hopeful, no promises, that he might even come to town at some point and be a part of this dedication. So I hope you'll shine favorably upon our request.
Thank you, Ms. Stratton.
I move the approval.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any other thoughts or discussion? Roll call.
Deputy Mayor James Scully.
Yes.
Janie Boydston.
Yes.
Marlon Coleman.
Yes.
Wayne Johnson.
Yes.
Leanne Langston.
Yes.
Ivory Van. Derek Reed.
Yes.
Dan Hall.
Yes.
Mayor Coburn.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Do we have to sing it now?
I thought we
Please
should
don't.
sing it.
Chris has put a lot of money into this new system. I don't think we want to crash it right now. Item number 4.
Consider acceptance of easement from Doris Ricketts for the realignment of the East Side Interceptor or take any necessary action.
George.
Chairman, members
expecting
of the
you.
committee, this really just kind of a housekeeping item on the East Side Interceptor. We had a slight change of alignment that required getting 2 additional easements for installation for future maintenance. The easement to the south we've already acquired, and I recommend we accept the easement from the Ricketts to finish the project.
Thank you.
And I'll accept any questions.
Yes, I have a question. This is the one that I'm familiar with and have worked with, I believe. Is that correct? Okay.
Yes. Yeah,
So,
it goes by the Bakers.
right, okay. So this existing alignment was the very original one? The one that goes under the house?
Yeah,
that
the red
correct?
line was the one that passed under the corner of the house.
Okay. And so this new easement now is what's shown here where it says new alignment, correct?
Yes.
Is that the same one they had agreed to previously?
Yes.
Okay, this is
Yeah,
not
this
additional?
has all already been agreed upon. It's actually been constructed. This is a matter of record for us to accept the easement.
Okay.
So
Yeah, we've already accepted the
everybody's in
easement from
favor.
the Bakers. They've already granted that. This is just for the this northern part of the project.
Okay, but this is their second grant, correct? Because it was at one point and then we requested more? Is that, was my understanding?
No, we've simply just asked for one realignment. We had several different meetings with them and several different proposals, but we actually just had one realignment.
Okay, all right.
And
this
be
is-
glad to meet you out there, Counselor, and show you exactly what it is if you'd ever like.
Oh, I know what you've shown me, and I appreciate that, and thank you very much. I may do that. I just wanted to be sure. I was thinking that there were 2, and I thought this was additional. Okay, appreciate it. Thank you, George.
Pam, forgive me. Did I have the motion?
No, you did not.
Move to approve.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any other thoughts or discussion? Roll call.
Deputy Mayor James Scully.
Yes.
Janie Boydston.
Yes.
Marlon Coleman.
Yes.
Wayne Johnson.
Yes.
Leanne Langston.
Yes.
Derek Reed.
Yes.
Dan Hall.
Yes.
Mayor Coburn.
Yes.
The motion carries. Item number 5.
Discuss and take any necessary action to prepare a plan for renovation of the restroom and kitchen facilities at Elliott Park, including authorizing staff to seek funding for the same.
Well, I see you with the clicker, and that bothers me. Reverend Coleman, floor is yours.
Only thing it turns is slides and not counselors. So, thank you, Mr. Chairman, for giving me this opportunity to make this presentation regarding the Elliott Park facilities. I'll just give a very brief history. Elliott Park is one of those parks that was ceremonially dedicated in 1935. It's currently located immediately north of the former Manual Training High School, which was in existence in Muskogee from 1910 to 1972. It was dedicated and asked for 2 reasons from the African American community. One, during segregation, African Americans were not allowed to swim at Spalding Park. And then secondly, there was a number of accidental drownings at a nearby muddy swimming hole where they had to swim in lieu of not being able to swim at Spalding. The current situation, we have several main events that are held at the park now, but one of the primary events is the Juneteenth program. And Juneteenth, for the benefit of those who may not know, occurred on June 19th, which was the day Union soldiers arrived at Galveston to alert them that the war had actually ended and that enslaved people were now to be free. Of course, this happened 2.5 years after the Emancipation Proclamation. This year, for the first time, the park had the opportunity to host the Night Hoops program. And Night Hoops is a major program that provides a safe zone for children during summer months. And we can't emphasize enough that because of the historical significance of Elliott Park, it's really, really important as a city that we consider what we can do to make it a park that gives it its proper grandeur, because it is a place of historic significance, and it's a place that we don't want to have overlooked, particularly in light of the fact that we have a major function that takes place every year, being Juneteenth, and now even seeing that program expanded, or that park being expanded for use by programs such as the Night Hoops program. And so we believe that maintenance of a significant historic marker is important. We believe that unmarked history is lost history. There are a lot of people right now who enjoy the privilege of using that park but don't quite know how that park came about. And so we believe that we need to have some of its history honored by doing these maintenance repairs. This historic site deserves improvements. Upgrade to the existing facility within the current structure and framework is what we're asking for. We're not asking that we consider the actual build out of new restrooms, but that we work within the existing framework that we have. It has restrooms in there now, but they're very substandard. They're very, very inadequate. The same applies to its kitchen facilities. We had the opportunity to work a little bit during the Juneteenth program and see how the people in the kitchen area had to basically makeshift a lot of their cooking supplies to be able to serve food. And each year at Juneteenth, they serve at least 200 people going through that park. And Night Hoops, Councilor Reed may speak on that later. When they used the facility this year, we also ran into a very difficult time in having adequate facilities. It beautifully connects all of the existing projects that we're currently working on. In that same quadrant of town, we're building a new $4.5 million Martin Luther King Jr. Community Center. Sadler Arts Academy currently houses a lot of the manual training high school historic memorabilia, and I think it would be a good fit to tie that all in together, since that park is so geographically connected to those major areas that we consider funding opportunities to upgrade this facility. And so what we're asking for tonight is for the city manager to assist in the appointment of a committee to make recommendations and pursue proper funding sources, because we think as a historic area of the city, we'd be doing ourselves an injustice if we didn't do anything at all.
Okay, thank you. Any discussion?
It was a summer nightmare.
Was it?
Restrooms as well as the kitchen area. We have major problems with the electrical outlets, the roof leaks.
And so what you're asking for is for the city manager to develop a committee to go out and see how to rehabilitate that building?
On that note, I move for approval.
Well, I'm sorry, one question. Are you looking for like a staff committee, or are you talking about a council committee? What are we talking about?
It needs to be representation of the community, particularly those who have the highest use of it. I think it needs to have some representation from the city, and I think it needs to have some council representation, certainly, which I'd like to be a participant in.
Okay, and, facilities board, since we're bringing the facilities board?
I wouldn't be opposed to that.
Okay, all right.
Derek?
Move for approval.
Second.
I mean, with having the facilities board be part of that group?
Yes.
Look at it?
Yes.
So I've got a
Does the
motion.
park fall anywhere in this, the park board or anything like that fall underneath this anywhere? Are you just going to leave us out of that?
You know what? I'm so sorry, sir. We'll make our way to the Parks Board as well.
Thank you, I appreciate that.
I don't know why I'm confusing the Facilities Board and the Parks Board, but we'll make our way to the Parks Board.
Thank you, I
Mark
appreciate
Wilkerson is not here this evening. He had a medical issue, but we've been kind of working on what this would look like if we move forward with it. So.
I got a motion and a second. Any other discussion or any clarification needed? Roll call.
Deputy Mayor James Scully.
Yes.
Janie Boydston.
Yes.
Marlon Coleman.
Yes.
Wayne Johnson.
Yes.
Leanne Langston.
Yes.
Derek Reed.
Yes.
Dan Hall.
Yes.
Mayor Coburn.
Yes.
Motion carries. I have one person wishing to address this committee, Linda Carter. Linda, for the record, I'll need your name and your address, please, and you'll have 3 minutes. And since it's a non-agenda item, we're not going to be able to get into any kind of dialogue with you, just an FYI.
That's fine. Thank you for letting me come. This first time I ever been here, had no problems. So, first time I really ever met the mayor. So,
I'm sorry.
I thank you for that. Every time I come in and talk to him, I've been having problems. Every time I come in and talk to him, they say he gone, or he just seen me and ran. So I'm not going to hold you long. But my name is Leonard Carter. My husband was a vet. He died in 2010. And since then, it's been rough on me. Plus on that, I had all my sisters die 2 years apart. And after that, the police kept harassing me. I had two policemen come in my house with search warrants, saying I had drug. It was a drug house. They got there. It wasn't a drug house. They took me outside with no clothes on and a towel, put me on the bus, wouldn't let me get no clothes on. I didn't even know. They found no drugs. That was an embarrassing day of my life. And they handcuffed me. And then they sent a gentleman in my room to bring me out some clothes, no lady present. He stand up there with a thin sheet, held it up, and let me put my clothes on. And I felt so hurt, I cried that night. Therefore, I've been up here several times to get help. Nobody seemed to help me. So I said, tonight, I prayed about it. I'm coming. If they let me in, I'll come. And so nothing else done about it. The police are so rude. I heard them call people black bastards, black son of a bitch, we got you, and everything. And so they came in my house again and with a search warrant, didn't find nothing. Arrested my son, he didn't have nothing on him. They got him in jail with a $50,000 bond with nothing on him because somebody wrote a letter. I don't know who it is. And I see people out here now, went to prison, had gun dealings, already out of jail. And I see people had 65 years serving out of jail. What is going on here? You gave my son a $50,000 bond, and you have nothing on him or in my house. I just don't understand it. I know this community is better than that. I've been on jury duty in Wagner County so many times I can't count. So that's been so many people won't take their cases to court. They rather sell it out of court with a lawyer or the DA's office. Because I've been on that jury duty several times. And you know what? It's not good back there. They already made their mind up when we get back there, instead of sitting and talking. So I done came up here and talked to everybody up here, from the policeman to everybody, except you, Mayor Cole, but I never got to meet you. This is my first time, because I never had no problems with Muskogee. Muskogee, I'm from Port, Oklahoma, and I was raised to do right. I never had been in trouble. I don't have a ticket. I don't have a felony. My mom and daddy brought me up right, what to do, the right reason to do it.
Thank you.
My kids.
Your
I make a
3
motion
minutes
that we extend our time by 2 minutes.
Thank you, sir.
Second.
I got a motion
Thank
and a
you.
second. Roll call?
And I raised my kids.
Deputy Mayor James Gully.
Yes.
Janie Boydston. Marlon Coleman.
Yes.
Wayne Johnson.
Yes.
Leanne Langston.
Yes.
Derek Reed.
Yes.
Dan Hall.
Yes.
Mayor Coburn.
Yes.
Mayor, can you give us 2 more minutes? There we go.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. And so I try to raise my kids up just like my mom and dad raised me, hard working. I got my degree in college. I'm not a dummy. So every time the police, every time somebody leave my house, they think it's a dope dealer. They pull over my brother and his wife, asking, what you doing at that house? And they said, that's my sister's house. I'm coming to check on her. She's been through, I had a nervous breakdown, deep depression, losing my sister, my husband, and my loved ones. And I come up here to these police officers, they don't do nothing. When they check my house, they waste taxpayers' money standing out there laughing at things they did not do. Why are you out here laughing, wasting my taxpayer money, doing nothing? but can blame my son. He's the only one I got at home to help me because I had a heart attack and I had a nervous breakdown and a deep depression. They arrested him with nothing on him, holding him for $50,000. But everybody out here that been in prison and got guns on them, they either working for the police or working for somebody. I don't get it. So if you can explain something to me to help me, because I'm tired of running up here. I don't never come here. I've been here almost 28 years. This is my first time in this room. First time. Because they keep on harassing me. And my family say, Linda, it's enough. When your family gets stopped from a family reunion, it's enough. They say you need to go talk. And I'm talking to the main ones because I'm tired of talking to the cops and the other people. They ain't hearing me. You may not hear me. But I'm tired. I'm sick. I don't have anybody really left in my family, my sisters or dad or anybody, but my kids.
Ms. Carter, thank you. I think we've got your message loud and clear.
Thank you.
Thank you. Seeing no further business, we are adjourned.
We will now call to order the special call Muskogee Municipal Authority meeting for September 22nd. Roll call.
Mayor Bob Coburn.
Here.
Deputy Mayor James Scully. Dan Hall.
Present.
Marlon Coleman.
Here.
Janie Boydston. Wayne Johnson.
Here.
Leanne Langston.
Here.
Derek Reed.
Here.
Item number 1.
Consider an executive session to discuss and take possible...
Whoops. MMA.
Oh, so sorry. Consider approval to authorize deobligation of remaining funds from the water treatment plant loan provided by the Oklahoma Water Resources Board or take the necessary action.
Mr. Tucker, let me let you address this one.
Yes, this item was actually addressed by the City Council in a meeting on
7/14.
Yes, August 14th. And so this is a duplication. Since the council has already acted, they have sufficient authority to complete the paperwork to deobligate the loan, and so no action is necessary on this item.
And that's the only agenda item we have for this agenda, so we will now move to the special called meeting of the Muskogee City Council. Roll call.
Mayor Bob Coburn.
Here.
Deputy Mayor James Scully.
Here.
Dan Hall.
Here.
Marlon Coleman.
Here.
Janie Boydston.
Here.
Wayne Johnson.
Here.
Leanne Langston.
Here.
Derek Reed.
Here.
Item number 1.
Consider an executive session to discuss and take possible action on the following. A, pursuant to Section 307B2, Title 25 Oklahoma statutes, consider convening an executive session to discuss negotiations with the American Federation of State, County, and Municipal Employees, Local Number 2465, and if necessary, take appropriate action in open session. B, pursuant to Section 307B2, Title 25 Oklahoma statutes, consider convening an executive session to discuss negotiations with the Fraternal Order of Police, Lodge Number 95, and if necessary, take appropriate action in open session. C, pursuant to Section 307B2, Title 25 Oklahoma statutes, consider convening an executive session to discuss negotiations with the International Association of Firefighters, Local Number 57, and if necessary, take appropriate action in open session.
Now entertain a motion for executive session.
So moved.
Second.
A motion and a second. Any discussion? Roll call.
Deputy Mayor James Scully.
Yes.
Janie Boydston.
Yes.
Marlon Coleman.
Yes.
Wayne Johnson.
Yes.
Leanne Langston.
Yes.
Derek Reed.
Yes.
Dan Hall.
Yes.
Mayor Coburn.
Yes, motion carries. We will now consider ourselves in executive session, if you would. We will now reconvene back from executive session. Roll call.
Mayor Bob Coburn.
Here.
Deputy Mayor James Scully.
Here.
Dan Hall.
Present.
Marlon Coleman. Janie Boydston.
Here.
Wayne Johnson.
Here.
Leanne Langston.
Here.
Derek Reed.
Here.
Mr. Tucker, items 1A, B, and C.
Item 1A, pursuant to Section 307B2, Title 25 Oklahoma statutes, the City Council did convene an executive session to discuss ongoing negotiations with the American Federation of State, County, and Municipal Employees. After being fully briefed on the status of those ongoing negotiations, no action is necessary at this time. Item 1B, pursuant to Section 307B2, Title 25 Oklahoma statutes, the Council did convene an executive session to discuss negotiations with the Fraternal Order of Police, Lodge Number 95. After being fully briefed on the status of those negotiations, again, no action is necessary at this time. Item 1C, pursuant to Section 307B2, Title 25 Oklahoma statutes, the council did convene an executive session to discuss ongoing negotiations with the International Association of Firefighters Local Number 57. After being fully briefed also on the status of those negotiations, no action is necessary at this time. Mayor?
That concludes our agenda. Thank you for being part of our meeting.